Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports. This is the number one place for all your fantasy content. We do the research, so you don't have to. But wait, so you don't play fantasy? We have you covered with all your F1, IPL, and UCL content. So head on over to the Fantasy Pavilion YouTube page, like, subscribe, stay connected with us. We have all the content you're looking for. Fix that team, though. Do better. The last year you were doing shaky. But this year we're doing better. We're doing better this year.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. And we are back again for another Grand Prix preview. And this time we visit the Principality of Monaco, right? The Monaco GP. Of course, we just had the Emilia Romagna GP, of course, Italian GP. Exciting stuff, exciting action. We're going to, of course, look back at that and, of course, preview the upcoming action in Monaco. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined by our expert, right? Our community expert, Michael. Michael, thanks for coming through, bro.
Evening.
Bro, Italy was nice. What's your thoughts on Italy?
Italy was really nice. I enjoyed it. I watched back the highlights, and it was a proper race. I liked how Norris really challenged Max at the end. That gave us actually something to enjoy. I saw all the memes and stuff. People would use the Lightning McQueen meme, I am speed, for those last 10 laps. And it was really entertaining and fun. I think there was a good few overtakes. As I said, Yuki pulled it off actually. That I can't remember which corner is it. Let me pull up that track quick. But Yuki pulled off a really, really nice track, a really nice overtake on, I believe, Sargent around the outside into the inside. I just want to pull up the track.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, I did talking about Yuki after big. Yuki has been in his bag recently.
He is. He's honestly he's shunning
Ricardo.
His teammate Ricardo.
Outshining.
Yeah, he making Ricardo look bad.
He's looking like the former Grand Prix winner.
He I mean, which is sad. When you think about it, that who Danny Rick is, but that's correct. Just where he is right now, I guess.
Yeah,
the corner, I think it is Yuki pulled off the turn was 14 into 15. He went on the outside, and then which turns into the inside. So he went on the outside of 14, that became the inside of 15. And it was a really, really nice overtake. Was it there, boy? Yeah, I think it was there. If it wasn't there, it was 2 into 3. But it was a really nice overtake. Big up Yuki for that move. It was really beautiful. I was impressed when I saw it. But overall, it was a pretty good race. I liked Max. Norris challenging Max at the end. And, maybe who's to know? Maybe that will be the case later on in the season. Because Max was complaining about his tires. Norris was pushing like a bat out of hell. So just wait and see what will happen.
Yeah. I must say, despite the dominance by Max, it's nice to see, okay, I think we have now a solid top 5 for most races now, a top 4, and it's not just the eating his dust, right? They're right behind him at most of the time. and giving him a good race. Obviously, you can't catch a Red Bull. It's only if something happens. So as I said, tire deck, maybe some issues. But I must say, it is a stark contrast from last season to now. McLaren looking good because it's not just Norris. So we have to pick up Piastri as well.
Yeah,
Young
Piastri is keeping
Piastri.
up, and this
Yeah,
is what his second season in Formula One.
come on.
Or no, it's not his second, his third season in Formula One. Second or third, and he's doing absolutely great. So big up to Piastri as well. It's only a
Yeah.
matter of time before he gets a race win, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Another podium, something solid. I must say, he's in his bag right now, doing his thing. I'm really proud of him. And of course, we have to pick up, we had to pick up signs as well. I'm saying Charles Leclerc first. Charles Leclerc doing his
Mm-hmm.
thing as well consistently. But I'm very shocked that the McLaren is able to beat the Ferrari because last season it was a Red Bull Ferrari. Of course, Ferrari had their issues, right? But Ferrari, in terms of the engine and the beast that Ferrari was, to me, they should be up there.
I agree, but I mean
More,
that's
so, don't know.
that's how it goes. It just means that whatever upgrades and the package that McLaren delivered this year is a lot better.
Yeah,
Um, I wouldn't rule out Ferrari just yet because
of
I know
course.
they usually save their updates for Imola. So we have another Italian Grand Prix to go.
Right.
And Imola is the temple of speed, so I could expect the
Hmm.
Ferrari to be a bit faster and a bit more aggressive around there instead of Imola. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't rule out Ferrari just yet, but it's really impressive to see what McLaren has done. And it's depressing to think that McLaren is running the exact same engine as Mercedes and they're able
Hmm.
to perform. So that
Hmm.
just goes to show the Mercedes engine isn't the problem. The problem is the aerodynamic package that they have paired with that engine. So I think that goes to show whereby, Mercedes has the opportunity to challenge, but they really need to get that formula of the car correct.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And I brought that up because again, it's just last season, Monaco, you were trying to well. Let's be fair, right? Ishmael was defending McLaren, and we were saying, "No, waste of time, waste of time, waste of time." But
Mhm.
all of a sudden, now I just said the upgrades, the package, everything, and they're doing their thing. So yeah, have to bring them up. Who else? Who else stood out for you? Who else we have to show? Well, hey, I have to be shameless. I have to be shameless. They ridicule him, right? They waste him down. Oh, daddy's money. Watch him, right? Let me hear you know, Michael. Let me
I
hear you say a
mean, you're
nice thing
nice.
about this man. Look,
You're doing like
right?
he actually wins something, but I mean,
Hey,
big up him
points
for
is
getting it.
points, though.
Fair
Points,
points is
though.
points. Let's see how often he does it now. That's where he will get. That's
I
where he will get
wanted,
their
I
returns.
wanted to say a nice thing about Stroll from this race. One nice thing,
I mean, I watched over. I was watching over Monaco highlights from last year in preparation for tonight,
of course.
and Stroll was horrible last year too. So he needs to do something, but my boy crashing into a wall, break front suspension. I mean, Monaco last year was a crazy race
For everybody,
because
yeah,
rain
yeah.
halfway into the
Mm-hmm,
race or whatever.
mm-hmm.
But he himself to have the level of experience that he has or the years he has spent in Formula One, you would like to expect a bit more. Because look at Ocon. Ocon and him have been in Formula One around the same time.
Correct.
And Ocon is slow, yes, but he's not slow because of his driving. He's slow because of the car that he
The
has.
vehicle that he has, yeah.
So that is why I don't want to say I hate on Stroll because I don't want to hate on anybody. At the end of the day, these are the best drivers in the world. Um, Probably only second to or equal to rally drivers, but you expect a lot better from Formula One drivers, especially the kind of machinery that they operate, the speeds in which they operate at. Um, but at the end of the day, maybe he's just there for the fun of it, so to speak. I mean, if daddy paying for it, why not?
Yeah, that still wasn't a nice thing, but all right, I'll allow it. But big up Stroll, right? Big you up.
Yeah, nice job.
Right.
I mean, the thought I had actually when I was watching back at the race results, at this point, if you have Perez in your team, is really just to get overtaken points.
Yeah.
Because why is Perez in our Red Bull in 8th place behind?
Bro. Go ahead. You literally started the next segment. I want to talk about Perez.
I don't understand, Red. Like, you're in the fastest car on the grid, and I think it's qualifying was horrible. If you just click on the qualifying tab for me.
Yeah, of course. Hold on. Sure. Qualifying. You can get
Where did he end up in quali?
We have to scroll. Wow, look at me.
Right.
11.
So he was in 11. So he was outside the top 10 in quali. I didn't watch quali to see why exactly, if it was a tire thing or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're the fastest car on the grid. So you're supposed to always make it into Q3-1. But again, accidents happen. But at the end of the day, you start off in 11th position and you only make it to 8 by the end of the race.
And the
sad thing is,
because come on, if that was Max,
he went off the road, all kind of thing, and I'm like, dog, are you asking to be fired? You forget who you're driving for. So honestly, I expected a lot better from Perez, and honestly, if you ever see me put him in my team, it's simply because okay, cool. He dared to get overtaken points, and the only reason he's overtaken is because he's in the fastest car. So yeah, it's disappointing. It's really sad to say. I love Perez. I think he's an amazing guy, but maybe his time in F1 has come to an end. I don't want to be that
Red Bull. His time with Red Bull, not necessarily.
His time at Red Bull. Okay, fine. His time at Red Bull.
Let's not do it.
Seemingly coming to end, so to speak.
Yeah, but it is very difficult to explain this to anyone. Someone who didn't watch the race and will say, all right, cool. So if we told them the top 3, I'm sure they're going to assume Perez either 4th or 5th. We'll say Perez started in 11th.
I thought that he was right there.
Right. Because he'll be like, all right, hey, Max win, Lando come 2nd, Charles 3rd. And you'll be like, oh, what position Perez started in? 11th? Oh, so you finished like 4th, 5th then. My pure, bro. Right? And look at it. Look who's in front of him. 2 struggling Mercedes, who he should be, right? No offense to Mercedes, but come on.
No, let's be honest. He should have been able to catch and pass.
Right? Worst case scenario, okay, Sainz puts up a good fight. Piastri defend, okay, maybe. But as you rightfully said, Perez should be overtaken, giving you points, and at least be finishing 4th or 5th. Depending on the surge and the tire strategy that he was provided. So, yeah. And of course, we have to talk about Mercedes. What's going on with Mercedes, bro? At least consistently in the top 10. Haven't had like terrible incidents recently, doing okay. But I mean, obviously, this is not the standard we know from Mercedes. Or is this?
Agreed. It isn't. I guess it just goes to show the brutal nature of Formula One and just how important the cars play a part. So you can have the best drivers, but if you don't give them a car, it's all for nothing. You can have the best engine, but if the aerodynamics of it doesn't work, it's not going to result in anything. And I think that is to show how you could go from being in the top of the mountain to the bottom in the valley very easily. But I think they could be on the comeback. We could hope that, later on into the season, they bring upgrades to the car, they do something. I think in terms of Hamilton and his leave for Ferrari, he's just biding his time patiently. And sometimes it'll be very frustrating, maybe coming close to the end of the season, if there isn't some great improvements. But honestly, in Mercedes, they have a lot of work to do. And I mean, we will see what comes of it later on in the season. But I really hope that they could bounce back. Because if it is, we take a look at the constructors' standings, they've dropped all the way to probably 4th or 5th.
Yeah, and definitely not what we've come to expect.
Teams, yeah.
All right, boom.
So,
if it is, we right now.
Yeah, we're 4th right now. Well, not barely, but we're above Aston Martin. We are a long way behind McLaren. further even away from Ferrari. And if we go back to 2023, we finished the season in second. And that's with a horrible car with neither of our drivers. So if we could just take a look at 2023 quick. They have it right when you scroll up.
Oh yeah, okay, yep. Right. Oof.
We finished second, ahead of Ferrari, ahead of McLaren, and now we're behind both of those teams. Worse yet being that when it is we took this second place last year, neither of our drivers won a race.
And I'm not going to say that this was mainly because one driver was podiuming consistently.
And we were constantly there was actually a chance, and Lewis finished third in the championship. Behind the two fastest cars. So this year is really hard to understand how we dropped off so bad. After it definitely looked like things were turning up. That we are upward trajectory. Finally, we got out of the road, but clearly is one step forward, 3 steps backward. So we could just see if we can maybe run a few steps forward. That you make some real kind of change, but it's really disappointing and heartbreaking to see where Mercedes is right now. But as I said, it's still a long season to go, so hopefully something changes drastically.
And the thing is that the standings don't lie. This constructing standings is a fair reflection to be
of how the season is going
so far. And the funny thing too is both drivers don't have to be doing exceptional for the teams to be up there.
Correct. And last year proved it is all about consistency. Once you're consistently in the top 5, because that's where we were last year. Consistently in top 5, there were races we did not podium. There were races we did not, we had some off races, fell out to the top 5, that kind of thing, 1 or 2 races, out to the top 10. But at the same time, it's about consistency. And if it is we can't hold a solid command of 4th and 5th, you're not going to end up anywhere. And that's where we're struggling right now. And honestly, I find it hard to see us catching Ferrari at this point in time. So I guess at this point, the best we could hope for is maybe a 3rd place in the constructors.
So catch Mercedes, McLaren. No,
catch McLaren. Even is a Hail Mary to some extent.
That's crazy. Because look at this. Look at that. Right. We didn't give RV a hope or a chance at the start of the season. Right. But look at that. 6 up there, and mostly because of Yuki's efforts, not necessarily combined, right?
And that's the whole point there. Look how Aston fall off as well.
Look at that. Because they weren't great.
Where did they end up in 23? I think 4th or 5th, not so?
Yeah, they were way better in 23. See, 5th. So same 5th. And it was a tighter battle.
Right. It was a lot tighter battle, yeah. And if it is we watch, RB was nowhere near them. You see a full 2 or 3 positions behind them, and now they're right underneath them.
Right next to them, ready to pass. No,
I mean that just goes to show just how important it is to do and develop a car.
Now I have a question. So 161, okay, Max, 113 Charles, 107 Perez, 101 Lando. Now we're only now approaching the 8th round of the season so far. Right? The action now starts. Plenty action to go.
24 race season, so there's a lot to go.
Do you not think if Lando and Charles could remain consistent and stay right up there with Max and just wait for some unforeseen circumstances or some errors or tire dead, something, the engine failure, something. If they stay consistent, at least for the next 5, just being generous, 5 races alone, and apply that pressure on Max, because Max hasn't had this pressure. Even last season, it was more 2nd, 3rd, 4th battling each other, and Max just cleared. But this time around,
these times it was Perez trailing behind him, who would have never been nice.
right? And literally defending is doing his job as the second driver, right? Making
Yeah.
sure he protects. But this time around, 113 to 161 in Formula One language. That's no big feat. I don't see that being at
Correct.
this stage in the
And
season.
if somehow Charles was able to pull off two race wins back to back, that's 50 points, and that would put him ahead of Max if Max were to DNF in those two races or something like that. So it's not mathematically impossible. It's unlikely, but it's
Yeah, of
mathematically.
course, of course.
So
But
due to any unforeseen circumstances, should it occur a few times, yeah, we could have a new champion. But I think bigger than that, it can show that La Perez in the fastest car could finish fourth in the championship,
yes,
provided
yes,
that Lando, and I think that's the more realistic outcome
of
of
course, of course,
them
of
being
course.
consistent. And even Carlos to some extent, because Sergio is 107, Carlos is 93. So he's not very far away. So
Yes,
that would be an even bigger issue because even when Mercedes was dominant, Bottas would always finish in second.
right, right.
When it is so that's it. When it is you are driving with the most dominant team, with the fastest car, you expected that your first rival is your teammate.
Yes,
Granted, your teammate is the Formula One champion. He's quote unquote the best in his sport right now. But why are you losing to cars slower than you?
yeah.
And I think that is what Perez needs to consider. And honestly, it's gonna be heartbreaking for him because at the end of the day, he races for a very ruthless team in Red Bull. And for all we know, we could reach to middle of the season or we could reach to the summer break and we're gonna hear there's a massive shakeup at Red Bull. Breaking news.
Mm,
Perez sent back to race to RB. Yuki given the nod to race again alongside Max.
whew, I
I
can
mean,
imagine.
it's not impossible, but look, if it is we
Yo,
see what Yuki's doing, then that'll be exciting to see
yes,
Yuki in a Red Bull, to see what he could do. That will be enjoyable. That will be amazing. Um, but at the same time, honestly, Sergio needs to step it up, and he can recover.
yeah.
But based on the trajectory and the performance of the other drivers, he really has to be careful because he can very easily fall out of that top three, and that will not look good on him at all.
No, I agree. But we all know why he is where he is. It's we all know why.
The
Right? We
puppetry.
know why. We know why. Right? You can't do what you did last season and expect to come this season now and be allowed to challenge Max. Never, never, never. So yeah,
True.
but we move. We move. Right? Let's look what we'll do. We'll do a quick glance back because I'm very curious to see what the fantasy team did, and then we'll move forward
Yeah,
to Monaco.
of course.
Right? So let me just pull that up quickly. But yeah, I must say, I know that football, I can't even say football's over because Euro's coming, but now that the main domestic season over, it's nice to be able to just focus on taking some good effort. But the season has been really good. It's not as, I
Yeah.
must say, despite Max being Max, it has not been overbearing.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah.
Monaco because last year Monaco was crazy. It had rain in
Crazy, bro.
it. I
Yeah.
saw Alonso had gone back out in the rain on dry tires, then come back in and pit for Inter, still end up second. Ocon was able to pull a third place last year. So,
Yeah.
like
Last year's
Monaco last
signs,
year was pretty
Leclerc
exciting.
crash out and all that is real crazy.
Correct. I mean, and
It's
Monaco
crazy.
is the qualifying track. Wherever you qualify, more than likely, it's highly like you finish
Where
a
you finish,
place or
correct,
two
correct.
up or down from that position.
All right, let me look back. Completed Italy team two. All right. Oh, my team three did a decent. All right. So we went with Yuki. Yuki gave us our 4 points. All right. Then we, of course, we double up on Max. Max won. Nico Hulkenberg 3. So Albon was the only minus 20. Right?
Yeah.
RB gave us 12 points, taking that. And the McLaren gamble paid off McLaren 64
Yeah.
points. Alonso 2 points. So I guess we could shake up somebody there, driver, but again, the inflation is so difficult to switch in
To
and switch
correct,
over
to
to.
really play with
Yeah.
who you want to play with.
But we will think, but we definitely have to, I think maybe use a chip, even if it's the one to protect you against, any
Negative points.
yeah, something, because Monaco definitely is going to have safety
I
cars, they're
think
going to have incidents.
why Monaco it would be a place to do it is because of how important quality is. So if it is
Yes.
your driver has a bad quality, it's not to say he could regain and build
Mm-mm.
back based on
Mm-mm.
things. So like in a situation like if it is this way to say, if we say this track was, if this was Monaco and we had Checo on the team, he's not gonna make up the amount of places that he did
Yeah.
at Imola, and that would just hurt you because you're not gonna get no set of overtaking points, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think yes, it'll be safe to play that chip at Monaco, based on especially based on how your team is set up. If it is you have drivers like Yuki, like Nico,
Correct.
like Alex, like Alonso, who it's a hit and miss if they end up in the top 10 ever. It's nice to play the negatives, to play the no negatives. In the event that okay, cool, they have a terrible quality, it's not gonna hurt your race too much or
Yeah.
at all.
Correct.
If it is you have a team, let's say the team one with Charles and Lewis, you're gonna get points there in the top 10. You have Red Bull, so you're gonna get the points from the drivers there. I wouldn't want to use that chip just yet, but I think if it is you have a lot of lower tier drivers on your team, it would be safe to play the non-negative at Monaco.
Yes. I think so too. Look at the scene through here. Look at this. This is perfection. This is and big up Lance Stroll though. Imagine a team with Guanujo. Came on.
And
Lance
check it
Stroll.
there.
Pass.
Is it that Lando got more points than Max? Because
Ooh,
Lando
he
got
doubled.
74
Ooh, yeah, and
and
he got
Max
driver of the
got
day.
70.
And he got driver of the day. So I think that is what would have put him over the
Yes,
edge.
so that's
Driver of the day is 10 points alone. Woo!
yep,
And but he didn't do much with overtaking. So the qualifying was
correct.
still so 8 points for qualifying, 1 point per race overtake bonus, right? That's 32 seconds, and then race position 18 points.
And
Yeah.
that's it. And the thing with Max, it's highly unlikely Max is gonna get driver of the day at any race because everybody just knows he's gonna win.
Come on.
I
Yeah.
saw somebody did a meme that I think it was at a F1 or Sky. When it says they were showing the race results, they showed from second place go down because everybody just knows Max is in front.
Yeah, just
It's
doesn't
like it's
matter.
not
Yeah.
even necessary anymore to show there. But
Yeah, just don't waste your time. Like let's not waste our
correct.
time on this.
So
Huh?
if it is you want to make a play for that driver the day points, I think Norris is a solid bet. Sainz is a solid bet. So yeah.
Wow. See, this is all the points that Max got. That's it. 25 points for race position and 10 points for qualifying. Because obviously qualified in
That's
place.
it. And
he's
no
still in place.
overtaking points.
Yeah.
My boy just getting. And that's I guess that's how most of his weekends go. It's a solid 35 points.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
So imagine if we doubled Lando. So maybe that's something to consider.
Yeah. I mean,
If we
but I don't
double
want
Lando.
to. I don't. That's the thing. You don't want to go too hard on Lando just yet.
Yeah, yeah.
He won his race. He comes second. Great. He have a nice momentum. Prove it to me one more time, and
One
then
more time,
I
okay.
will be schooled on Norris. Put him on
Yes.
every team. Double him on 2 of them 3 teams, and there we go.
No, I fully agree with you, and did you see me? I'm in agreement with you. Of course,
And
these are the
if the
chips
McLaren
that
are performing, you can either have either the McLaren as a constructor, or at least one of the McLaren drivers on each team, and it'll
Right.
be safe to pick up points.
Yeah. No, this chip is not a bad chip as well for this weekend, right? Reason I say that. Now, as you said, right, Monaco is that type of track. Whatever you get in quali, 9 out of 10 times that's what you're gonna get in the race. Now, of course, Monaco is a very unpredictable circuit, and we know the excitement it could play. We'll talk about the weather just now. But I think after the negative, if you don't want to use a negative chip, you want to save it. I mean, I do see which, I mean, yes, there's a few tracks coming up, but I think this is the best track to thing. But the wild card is not a bad shout in the sense, if you tell yourself, all right, you want to bank on, so let's say you're trying, of course, inflation, right? But if it is possible to at least get in Max Norris and Sainz, maybe. And then if you further with a Sonoda, maybe, and I don't know, someone else that doing okay.
I know what's in. What does the final fix do? Because I think the final fix allows you to make changes after quali.
Yeah, this could be used after qualifying. So I mean, not a bad shout either.
As this would be the ideal place to use
not
it. So
a, yeah, I think definitely not a bad.
Yeah,
we have 3 chips.
Because
not a bad shout. Not a bad
yeah,
shout.
so after well, it says after qualifying race. So I don't know if that's strictly for sprint weekends.
That's the next. If
it is for sprint weekends, then okay, cool, we can't use it. But if that is just for quali in general, then Monaco is a nice place to use it because for the Zimbabwe team, you guys don't qualify good. You then make changes, pulling guys that qualified properly because you know those are the ones that are gonna more than likely end up in the points. If it is a sprint weekend only chip, then it's still really nice because after that quali race and you don't know what happens, then you make your changes accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. It's not trying to find a quick feel, but yeah, definitely. That's not a bad show, though. That is definitely not a bad show. That's a very good point. But again, you have 3 options there, guys. Those who are watching, that you could go with the after qualifying chip. Of course, you could go with the no penalties. I think to me, that is all the free hit. I'm saying free hit, the wild card, because again, as we said, Monaco, basically whatever happens in qualifying, more than likely what you will get in the race. Right? Again, the wild card, no negative final fix. Right, so of course, no negative. For those who don't know, no negative points are applied for the entire race, including qualifying, sprint race, and final race. I think that's solid. So you could be scot-free a whole weekend, right? So yeah, might be a good one because we know how volatile Monaco is, but we'll talk about that. So let's get into that. Monaco, let's preview and then we'll come back to the fantasy and fix up our team.
Yep.
My 2 favorite GPs, well, this one is my first GP. My favorite GP, Monaco and then Miami. I love Monaco and Miami. What's your favorite GP, or what's the ones you look forward to the most?
I look forward to Silverstone. I look forward to Canada. I look forward to the next Italian Grand Prix, Autodromo.
Right.
Let's call it again.
Which one? Mexico, Hermano. No,
the Italian Grand Prix.
Oh, Italian, not Mexico. When you say Autodromo, I know Mexico one is something like that too.
Yeah, oh geez. The next Italian Grand Prix is not Monaco.
Autodromo Nacional Monza. No.
It's not Imola, and then the next. Oh geez, what is going on in my head tonight?
I'm looking, so trying to get the weather report for 110. Is it not that important? All right. So, what is the weather forecast for the Monaco Grand Prix, you ask? All right. So, because this is most important now. Right. So, of course, according to the weather forecasters, the temperature is the expecting 22 degrees. So, thunderstorms are forecast for Thursday, right?
Monza City,
Monza. Right, that's what I'll say. Autodromo, yeah, Monza.
It is an Autodromo, something Monza, but yeah.
Autodromo de Monza. Autodromo Nacional Monza. Yeah. Right. So Thursday should be all right. Of course, forecast thunderstorms. Boom. Moving on. And Friday should be okay, right? Partly cloudy on Friday. There's a 24% chance of rain during the day. Saturday, they say right now 40% chance of rain across the day, but the weather website was afternoon showers that could interfere with qualifying. Sunday is predicted to be the best day of the whole weekend. It's predicted to be 22 degrees, mostly sunny. There's just an 8% chance of rain throughout the day. The wind speed and direction I expect to remain consistent throughout the weekend. This is around 8 miles per hour in a southeasterly direction.
So then, with that weather, Monaco could still be entertaining in the sense that, let's say, rain, quality is a mess, and things just get turned up. You see Lando end up on pole, Lewis end up second, Max end up fifth, Sainz and Leclerc third and fourth, Russell right behind Norris. Russell right behind Max, and Checo somewhere in ninth, Alonso somewhere there in eighth. If rain come and do that, it's unlikely it will be that crazy, but if rain came down at the right time, whereby, let's say Lewis or Norris went out, they set a lap on dry tires, that's going to stand.
Yes.
That's going to stand for the session, whether rain busts down, and every single person that comes out after has to do their lap on intermediate or dry tires. That lap is going to stand. And so it all comes down to when is rain going to fall on the Saturday. So, okay, cool. No rain on Sunday. That's fine.
Yeah,
keep us rain on the Saturday. Let's have a crazy quali, because let's think about it. Max in let's say fifth or somewhere there at the start of the race, he's gonna try and make up as much places as possible off the start. Let's say it's Norris on pole and Lewis right behind him. Lewis is a rain master, so that's why he ended up there in quali. But he doesn't have that greater car to say to pull away. But at the end of the day, the benefit is it's Monaco.
Yes.
One of the hardest places to overtake. So let's stand like I'm actually wishing and hoping and praying it rains on Saturday to cause chaos in quali, because that will just make the weekend also more entertaining and enjoyable. But yeah, that weather has me excited now to see what happens.
And someone like Max in fifth or sixth,
he's going to fight to overtake somehow, some which way, somehow.
And he is going to get
a win or a fail.
He's gonna get you get himself in trouble, because there's no way, no how that you're going to go hard trying to overtake and not clip yourself or clip someone or cause problem, especially that funny turn in this is a tunnel. Most people always clip themselves. Oh, that scary roundabout.
When they come out of the Nouvelle chicane as you went out to the tunnel, where they go through to back, and then what they call piscine or piscine, I'm not too sure how you pronounce it, but it's very close to the wall that you're riding, and usually a lot of guys will clip the wall and end up in trouble there.
That's exactly what I think will happen. But let's preview the track and we'll analyze from there. Of course, if we just take a quick look back, our previous podium or top three was Max, Alonso, and Ocon, as we already mentioned before. Lewis was right there, George Russell, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Lando Norris, and Oscar Piastri. Right? Look at that. Strange positions to see them. This is because if we were looking back, didn't know what was happening right now in 2024 and saying, hey, look at these guys, 19 and 10, bam. And someone from the future came and said, well, these guys are going to be challenging real hard in 2024. We'll be laughing at them. Look at them now. Right? Correct. So this is turning out to be a really sweet and solid season so far. So take it away there, Michael. What can we expect from now? Break it down for us. Why did you say what you said earlier? You said earlier on, more than likely, what we get in quali is what the race outcome may or should be. Explain why the track does that.
Right. So the makeup of the Monaco Grand Prix it does not allow for a lot of overtaking based on the fact that Monaco is a street track. It is a street race at the end of the day. If you go to Monaco any other time of the year, you could literally walk on this road, drive on this road. It's basically like if it is we had a street race here in Trinidad and it was going through Port of Spain. Any other day of any other day of the year, you could walk down Ryson Road, cross the road like a madman, and walk through Port of Spain. And just for that weekend alone, it is a whole racetrack. And that's exactly what Monaco is. So the streets of Monaco, especially where the track is very narrow. And because the size of the F1 cars have increasingly gotten larger, it makes it a lot more difficult for cars to pass each other just because of how large the cars are. So maybe in the past, they could probably fit two cars, or it could go too wide through some corners or on some streets. Now it'll be a very tight squeeze, if at all. Um, so that's why. But to start the start of the track, we start off at the start finish line, heading into turn one, which is called Saint-Nevot. Then we take a tight right hander. We've seen people go straight on. I think Max went straight on in one of his first years in Formula One. And then okay, so from turn one we go right. We do it's a slight corner, barely any kind of thing. We call it Bourrivage. And then we take a left hander into Masternet. Then you go past the famous Casino corner into Maribor, which is a right hander that leads you down. So there's an elevation change where we go down to the Grand Hotel hairpin. And it's a really tight hairpin. You will literally see the cars come into basically a stop to make the turn. And they go through there extremely slow. You've seen people try to go around on the outside and that kind of thing. I think Stroll tried it last year, ended up in trouble. But you tend to see people trying to beat people going into the hip. And I think Magnussen or Hulkenberg pulled it off last year, actually. So that is a really slow corner. Then there's turn 7, that's a right-hander. Maribor pass into turn 8, which is called Portier. And that is just where you get to see all the first glimpse of the sea, so to speak.
Right.
To see the yachts and stuff parked up. It's a famous corner that Kimi Raikkonen went off at his time at McLaren, and he just jumped out and walked to his boot. But after you pass Maribor Bass, you go into the tunnel section, through the tunnel, and you go pelting. Like that's the fastest part of the track that the cars will get up to. Into the Nouvelle Chicane, it's a tight left-hander into 10 and 11. You've seen people try to dive down the inside. Some have made it, some have crashed. So it's a really tight corner. It's one of the main places people will try to overtake on the track. As you come out of the Nouvelle Chicane, we go to Tabac, that's turn 12. It's a quick left-hander into the Louis Chicane or the Louis Chiron, and also known as the pool section, pool section is 13, 14, 15, 16. This is where those infamous images you'll see Max basically rubbing his tire against the wall, coming out to the corners, trying to carry as much speed as possible through 13, through 14, because it's a quick right and a quick left. Sorry, a quick left and a quick right to try and get through there. Then heavy braking for 15 into 16. Then we go to La Rascasse, which is 17. You have the Anthony Nose corners of 18 and 19. It doesn't look too sharp, but it is quite tight. The walls can be very unforgiving there. You haven't seen anybody crash there recently, but if it is you aren't paying attention, it's very easily to clip the wall and screw up your race. And you have pit entry right before that. Something to note in modern F1. I think Monaco is the only race on the F1 calendar not to have a DRS section. That is, I think, one of the craziest things to note. Actually, I lie. DRS is on the main street. I was watching.
Yeah, we're just one, but I think it's like the least One of those with like the
and it's
least
the
amount of.
shortest one as well.
Yeah.
So that DRS is very crucial, and most times it's not even used for overtaking, but just to give you some time on the guy in front of you because it's so short. But that's where you'll see people trying to make the pass more than likely before one, because to try and make it into one is really difficult. But that's Monaco.
Yeah.
And as you'll see, Lewis holds the lap record. And we'll see if it drops this year or if it stands.
Monaco, right? No.
78 races. It's a long race.
Yeah. 78 laps. That's a lot. No.
And that's the thing, it's a long race. But because of how critical taking a pit stop is, you tend to find teams trying to do at the most 2 stops.
Right.
One if possible. So there was, I think it was 2018 or 2019, where Lewis tires were basically non-existent at the end of the race. Like when it says you watch the hard tires, it was literally just pieces of rubber clumped and stuck together. It was barely a tire at the end of the race because he just held on for their life because there was no chance to take a pit stop. If he did, he would have probably ended up 4th or 5th. So it's really crucial to one, manage your tires around Monaco and just hope for the untimely safety car or somebody else's demise.
I just want to shout to everyone that is live with us from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Please just come across on YouTube quick, smash a like button, right? We need that. We need the like buttons. We need the subscription. Share it around to your friends. I want to shout out everyone that's on Instagram taking time to get in. I'll big up Adara. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. We'll try to get you on the show soon. Now, let's dive back now into the fantasy, and then we'll try and see what we could do, what we could analyze and translate. And now, of course, as we all know, this race is tricky. But if there is rain, whew, Lord, if there is rain, you really have been thinking about that chip, that post qualifying chip, really contemplating it because I think that'll be a great idea. But obviously, you have to have time. Make sure that you're glued to the screen and ready to make those changes quick.
Correct.
Yeah. Right. Really quick. All right. Let's get back into the fantasy aspect. I'll try and make a team. At least discuss. Even if we don't see every team right away, let's just discuss some plans. All right. So team 2, of course, is the community team. We'll go into managed team for now. All right, so this is what we are looking at here. 2 million in the bank. We have McLaren, RB, Yuki, Albon, Alonso, Max, and Nico. So, of course, the biggest blemish there really is Nico and Albon. But what can we get if we try to get rid of them?
I'm not too sure. Honestly, the only way to improve that, and you can take out RB2 and let's see what we could really play with.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have 2 transfers, but we'll try. I think
There's 2 transfers.
Yeah. So, well, let's see. Let's just play with it, and then we can go for it because we have chips too. We can. Yeah. No, there's only 2. I think.
Yeah, 3 transfers. 3 transfers. 3 of 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry, mine. Yeah. Right. Constructors for 26 is nothing, right? We have to go to the bottom of the barrel. Really?
Yeah.
How to bring in a kick. So.
Or just stick with the RB at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, because it saved us well. Not to say
it won't save us, but at the end of the day, it's the most likely team to get some points over the others. Simply because of you.
Let me see. I'm curious. Let's see what autofill does. Not one. Right? Because again, nothing enough. So we have this. Okay, so let's go back RB. We have no choice but to go back RB. So RB there. 17.8.
Or take out RB and put the Williams.
Okay.
6 million. So we have 20
20
million to play with drivers now. Let's see which drivers we could actually get.
Right. Good. So
Piastri, Russell, Lewis, Fernando. We already have Fernando.
Yeah, we had to split those. So we had to go down, down, down. So we already have Yuki.
No, so essentially you have about 10 million to spend on a driver.
Yeah, roughly 10 each. You can split that 20 to 10 points.
Here's the strategy I'm going with. Because this is a quali track, choose the drivers we know will quali in the top 10. We already have Max. We have a chance with Alonso.
Yes.
The other guys a chance with Yuki. Is those guys on top, but we can't afford them.
Can't afford Piastri.
Oscar's out. George is out. Lewis is out. So that's 3. Who we have again?
The only crazy thing we could do, if we sort of reset, and if we get rid of the 2 drivers and the McLaren, might have some wiggle room to get another top driver, and then but I do really want, if we get rid of McLaren, one of those drivers have to be a McLaren.
Have to be a McLaren driver. Agreed.
Right, so
I don't want to get rid of McLaren because it's
covering both points.
Covering both drivers.
Yeah, both drivers. So
especially when it is you don't have that greater constructor, you need at least one really good constructor to hold the team up, so to speak.
Okay, listen. I want to try something.
Yeah, let's reset and see.
So we're resetting. Right. So, this case, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Right, so that gives us a little more wiggle.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go back to the William, like you said. So William, that's the least one.
Yeah, so we maximize the amount we could spend on drivers.
So we still have 28.9, and if you autofill, it gives you Lewis and Ocon. We could take out Ocon, see what other driver we could get. But obviously Ocon not Oconing right now. Okay, so K-Mag, we already have Yuki. K-Mag, K-Mag in good form, right? K-Mag, Nico, Esteban, Joe had a good race last time. Right, so that is the best options there with 9.5 in the car.
But I will actually say take out Lewis.
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
As much as and let's see who you can play with. Because now you could get Charles or you could get Sainz.
Now Charles will leave you 6.3 in the bank if we take Charles.
And we wouldn't be able to get anybody for that price.
Yes, now if we take Oscar, right? Let me see. So Oscar, right, 8.6. Right. So Joe, we could get Joe, Pierre, Logan. So we could get Nico and we have Nico ready. So we could get Joe, Pierre, Logan, anyone down on the barrel say we could get.
But you don't want to take Oscar or Norris.
Yeah, but doesn't
points from McLaren.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, one of the Ferraris, maybe the cheaper the 2, and then you cheaper
Carlos.
The next driver. So Carlos, he's going to be at least top 10, maybe top 5.
Okay.
And then after that, you had 7.9, so you could go with your best option there, which would be Zhao. I mean, or more expensive, or is there anybody else?
And 0.4 in the bank. Logan, that's it. Logan, Valtteri, or Alex Albon.
Yeah, so you just go with Joe because you already gained Williams points if they get anything.
If we gain
and if you look at that there, you have at least 2 definite people in quali.
Question 3, because you keep it qualify,
Correct, as well as you get in McLaren points.
And again, in McLaren points when both
for sure them points secure. Max points secure. Carlos points secure. So that's what. Correct. Technically, that's 4 drivers points you're collecting there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Want to break that 200 mark with this team, at least this week.
Correct. Yeah. So I think this is actually a really solid team for Monaco.
Right. Confirming the changes. Yes. All right. So our YouTube team for the Monaco GP, the principal of Monaco GP, principality. Max, I love that too. A principality, where they're their own thing, Jen. That's so crazy, Jen. It's because of Archer I started to learn about Monaco. Right? I was like, let me research this place. This place is very interesting. Right? So, of course, the YouTube team, we have Max, Hulkenberg, Sonoda, Sainz, Chow, and of course, we have McLaren and Williams. You're watching it and like, why Williams? Further, guys, because as Monaco, we're trying to get the best team for going forward in terms of qualifying, right? So yeah, I think I'm happy with this, Michael. I see, it's you here, right? I want, of course, remind everyone it's your home for fantasy sports. We cover it all, we do it all. Thanks for watching on Twitter. Come across on YouTube, just drop a like. Just asking for a like. It's free. Smash the like button first, share with your friends, try and keep us on the algorithms radar, help us to grow and help us to stay on the airways for you guys, right? So, Michael, any closing words before we go? 5 minutes before the hour. Any parting words, any closing words, any closing thoughts? And of course, we have to do our prediction. So we'll do that. We'll close up with the prediction. But any closing thoughts before we go into the predictions?
I would say watch the race. It may not be the most exciting, but there's a lot of history behind Monaco. We're not too sure what could happen this weekend with the rain. If we get lucky and the rain falls this Saturday and really makes it crazy in quali. And we never know what it is the race itself may bring. Somebody could get bad luck. Somebody might hit a wall. There's a possibility for a safety car. So there is a lot of ways that Monaco can be boring, but there's also a lot of ways that Monaco can be really entertaining and exciting. Yes, it might be the expense of some drivers, but that's just how Formula One is at times. So don't give up on your race and say, "Oh, we're gonna be a ball fest and whatever." Let's at least try and watch it. I'm saying that. But I think too, just continue to love Formula One. Look at the aerodynamics. Look at it from more than just the entertainment value on the surface, and understand the science and everything behind the cars, and enjoy it. And again, if this is your first time here, welcome to the community.
Yeah, couldn't say it better. Any better, yes. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get to 2K, right? 1,000K subs, right? Gradually building. Thanks for the support. All right. So what we normally like to do at the end is just a quick podium prediction. I wish, Michael, I could pull it back quickly. I think we did. I wonder this now. Huh? Pull some small quick. I want to check some. I think we did okay on the last one, and I always really close. You remember?
I was not gonna say, if this is your first time watching Formula One, this is a nice race to watch, and that you're probably gonna see your favorite stars. This is Monaco. This is one of the most affluent places in the world. Half the grid resides here because it's a tax haven, so to speak. So the richest of the rich people will be here at this race, more than likely, whether you see them or not on camera, but they'll probably be there watching on. I really hope, I think something we skipped over this entire thing. Charles, this is his home race. This is Charles Leclerc home race. So we could really hope that he breaks his curse and he's able to win or podium or something here. He's the only Monegasque driver on the grid. So it'll be really special for him to do something here. It'll be really cool. So yeah, let's hope and see what happens, because this man literally grew up watching the race from his bedroom balcony. So it's quite crazy to think that, you start off, like for us, if it is we were to get Formula One here and you were to become a Formula One driver, or think of like somebody like Zane Maloney growing up driving around Bushy Park in a go-kart. And then, years later, Bushy Park is a Formula One track now, and he's driving Formula One. So that's really cool to think. I hope that he breaks his curse, because if anybody has been watching Formula One for a while, they will know something always happens with Charles here at home. Whether he crashes, whether he hits a wall, somebody crashes into him, it's always just some drama, some obia, something. So I really hope for his sake, for his sanity, that that doesn't occur. Something to note, McLaren is running a special livery this weekend in honor of Ayrton Senna. It's a yellow and green car they're running. It's looking really cool. I think the drivers even did tribute helmets as well. So it'll be nice to see that on track as well, as they usually do. livery for Monaco because it's such a special race. Last year they did Gulf colors. So yeah, that's something nice to see on track as well.
So you were right. You got the spot on. No, actually no. You just got the. So you said you got the guys right, just not the order. So you said Max, Lando, and then you said Leclerc. Because Lando came third, right? No, Lando came second
What was that?
for Imola.
It was Max, Norris, and Leclerc, I think.
Well, that's what you said. That is exactly what you predicted. Yeah, that's what you predicted. I
That's
know
what I
you
predicted
predicted it.
for. No, that was my prediction.
Yeah, and now listen to it back here quick. Just say that's what I was going to run it back.
Lit.
Yeah. So yeah, you was spot on, bro. So right.
I
You
love
was
it.
spot on. Right. So last time I said it first. So you start off. So your predictions for Monaco, bro. Tricky one.
Okay, so I'm gonna do two sets of predictions.
Sure.
First prediction being it's a normal race weekend. There's nothing unforeseen, whereby there's no rain in quali, and it's a dry weekend and everything is normal. I would say first Max, second, um, Sainz, followed by Norris. And if there is some unforeseen circumstances, which I truly do hope for, whether by way of rain on quali, safety car, rain on race day, I would like to see Norris first, Leclerc second, Piastri third.
All right, and that's right. So I want to try and revisit these, and we'll see how bang on we are. All right. Monaco. Again, I'm going to do the same thing I did last week. I'll go safe. I'm gonna go safe. So Max should do okay in qualifying, but I have a weird feeling, bro. I don't know why I have a weird feeling. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, I think I'm unforeseen. But if everything goes according to how it's been going, Max first. I can't see Leclerc shaking up the voodoo yet, but he has been solid so far. But it's the same thing last season. Remember last season? Let's be real, right? If Ferrari's strategies were way better, they should have won or at least be leading way more ahead than they
Correct.
did.
Last
Right?
that's
Because at this point,
for last year, because at the end of the day, Ferrari and Mercedes were fighting for the championship at the last race of the season. Literally, Lewis' words were, I don't care for position. Are we going to beat Ferrari?
yeah.
That was the priority. And I don't see that happening this year.
No, because I think Aaron did, and this was a race that Leclerc, not Leclerc, Ferrari, turned to Red Bull and say, here, this is here, look the championship. This is yours.
Basically.
Because it was at this point, because they were doing really solid, but it was at this point.
No, but Ferrari's strategy is horrible. But it's seemingly gotten better because
yes, they look better now. Correct. They look
better.
way better now. Way better now. And both drivers doing it. So all right. So I will give it I'll say Max.
Leclerc and Sainz give them some tutorials on how to strategize.
Something.
Because these men must be racing and strategizing for the team and telling
them
no.
True, yeah. Right, true.
That's mad. You need to be racing. Because every corner is a brake bias change, is a diff change, it might be a power change, whatever. And on top of that, you gotta be studying. Well, the man behind me on hard tires, my tires had some light. So you know what? We go pit. Dog, like the mental load these men not see us be under to do strategy work like that is crazy.
Crazy. Max first. Max. Something's changing. I'll give it to Max.
Done one time in the chats.
Max Sainz, Norris. What I would like to see, Sainz. I would love to see. Sorry, not Sainz. I would love to see Leclerc come first. So what I would like to see is Charles, I would love to see a Charles Lewis Perez. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. But I know it
Okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I would like
I
to
mean,
see.
I feel like I would love to see Lewis there if there is anything unforeseen, but at the same time, I'm trying to be practical and not give
Yeah.
myself too
No, the
much
car is
hope
just not up
for
to yeah,
heartbreak.
not up to scratch.
The car
Yeah.
just, yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
something
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy, like a really bad quality that puts him in the front
Yeah.
with. I mean, if
And
it is he starts in front, he could probably finish in the top three just because of how bad it is to overtake
yeah.
there.
But he can't defend. But yeah, but you don't have to defend much in Monaco. You're right.
Correct.
So
Because
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
few
yeah.
places to defend from.
Correct.
And granted, even if, but it depends on how far people like Max and Lewis, I mean, Max and Norris and these people are in comparison. But at the same time,
Right.
it's not impossible.
No,
It's not
no.
impossible. But I want to give myself that hope
Oh, yeah.
and
Why give
pray
you
that
hope?
this happen. When it doesn't, and I'll just be heartbroken and wishing for something.
Yeah. Don't give me hope. Don't do it. Don't give me hope. All right, so we've come to the end of our show, honors. Thank everyone for watching. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Click on the link, share it in your WhatsApp chat with all your friends. Let them know about the Fantasy Pavilion. We are your home for all fantasy sports, and of course, we also cover real life sports as well. We will be at the Cricket World Cup at a few games, covering some of the games to look out for some interviews from players, post-match interviews as well, pre-match discussions. We also have some nice content lined up for all for the days leading up, because of course the World Cup is being hosted in the West Indies joint with America. So look out for that as well. But of course, all the F1 content right here. And we're going to try and ramp up the episodes that we do. Going to try and have some other special content as well. Because of course, football, now I could finally focus a little bit on F1 a little more. Give F1 some more love. If you've never watched an F1 race, as Michael said, this is the best one to pick right now. Right? You've missed Miami. Watch Monaco. Trust me, it's going to be exciting. This is not like NASCAR, right? This is exciting stuff. The commentary is exciting. The radio insight is exciting. Everything about F1 is amazing, right? You might
Don't
take a
change any
glance.
tires is exciting.
So, oh my word, come on. I go crazy, Mike. Look at the test. I'm always guessing how quick they do it. That you get points for that fastest pit stop. And of course, so don't forget, guys, you get points for driver of the day. So you get 20 of your friends to vote for a driver, and it can influence the voting, right? So of course, guys, we wish you all the best. The league code is in the Flickr there. I'll try and of course have it in the description as well. Like, share, subscribe, and of course, happy picking me or DRS double driver, bring you all the points, and finish me your top 5 drivers and the constructors that you pick. Finish in the top 10 and give you some points. So, and of course, qualify and finish in the top 10 of the final race. So we wish you all the best. Have a great weekend and happy picking, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
Good night.